Hello everyone and welcome back to another how-to video from Freedom Marine. We're joined by Alex once again from Revolution Yacht Experience. Today we're going to learn how to first set up and then synchronize your Simrad account with the displays on your Axopar boat. It's very easy to follow along, so join us as Alex takes you through the process.
Okay, so here we are inside the boat ready to get started. We can see this is a screen here that's pretty common if you're turning your boat on for the first time, or if the boat's been recently resold and someone has removed their own registration from the screen. You're presented with this screen here. So you can register and activate your warranty, access updates, and synchronize your data once you have this screen connected to your Simrad mobile account. So there's a few different steps here that we need to go through to ensure that we go through all the steps necessary in order to be able to synchronize data between the cloud on our Simrad account and to the screen in your vessel. So the first thing you want to do is you want to connect your screen to a Wi-Fi hotspot. So I'm going to go ahead and make a hotspot on my phone. When I activate it, we'll log in with this screen right here. Back in just a moment. Okay, so I've successfully set up a hotspot on my phone. Any Android or iPhone can do that. Once you have that hotspot enabled, make sure you know the password, and then we're going to search for that hotspot using the screen. There's a couple of different ways that you can get there, and I'm going to go through what they all are. This particular screen is an NSS Evo 3S, which means it has a physical hardware button on the outside. So you can hit this one here, and you'll be presented with this menu, and you'll see that we have a wireless button, and then we can connect to the internet. Here is where we can find all of them. Here's my phone's network. However, I'm going to show you another way. If you don't have any physical hardware buttons, from any screen, let's say we're on our Mercury screen, for example, you should be able to go back to the main menu, and then from there you have a software power button, which is the virtual version of this one up here. So you can press that one and you're presented with the same screen again. So that's another way. There's another way again up to the settings menu here, and then we can actually scroll all the way to network, wireless, I beg your pardon, and then we can connect to the internet, and then we are right back where we were before. So all those three methods get you to exactly the same place. So let's just go ahead and connect our phone. Okay, so we have successfully connected to my mobile phone's hotspot. I've put in the password, and now I can see that I am indeed connected to the internet because there's a little icon up the top of the screen, which is a picture of the globe. You see the Latin long markings there. If you ever see that at the top of the screen, it means you're actually actively connected to the internet, and all of the online services should become available to you. Of course, pending your account is connected. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. We're going to set ourselves up with a Simrad account, and I'll walk you through that step by step. So if you start the screen, it will give you that please register box. You may dismiss it, but you can bring it back at any time by pressing the power button over here and then connect and register. And here we are here. And as I mentioned once already before, you can exit at any time, but if you do not have a physical hardware button and you have a different type of display, like a glass cockpit, you can always get back to your power button by going to your main menu, and there will be a virtual button down the bottom of the screen pop up from the main menu. From there, we can go back to this connect and register screen, and here we are. Hit the get started button, and you'll see that it's now going to ask you to scan this QR code. This is done through the Simrad app, and this is what the icon will look like. So through either Android Play Store or through iOS App Store, go ahead and download that Simrad app, and we'll check back in just a moment. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see what's happening on my phone, but I've gone ahead and I've downloaded the Simrad app. You can see it up the top left-hand corner of my screen. That's what the icon looks like. We're going to go ahead and we're going to open that, and you'll be presented with this page here that says Start Boating with Simrad. So if you do not already have an account, you can go ahead and make one fairly easily. I'm going to go in and type my email address. It's going to open up a page for us, and we just basically go through the motions. So I'm going to make it something memorable. And once you've gone ahead and input all those details, you can create yourself an account. I'll go ahead and save that in there as well. Now you'll see it's actually asking me if I want to open up with Simrad or CMAP. I definitely do recommend downloading the CMAP app as well, because it does allow you to make routes a little bit easier than the Simrad app itself. This screen should have some CMAP chart cards in there, and that definitely helps when you're using the CMAP card as well as the CMAP app. However, I'm going to open this one with the Simrad app this time. Okay, I'm not wanting the newsletter at this particular point or performance analysis. However, I will accept the privacy policy as that is required. So, hello, let's show you around. I'm going to manage a device. And right here, you'll see it takes you right to my devices, and this is the first place to start. And this screen looks very familiar because it's what we were seeing on the Simrad display on the boat. So we can hit the plus button and we can go ahead and we can add a chart plotter. So let's go and do that right now. Let's connect your chart plotter. Yes, everything is powered on. Get started. I see a QR code. It's asking us to go ahead and, get this QR code up on screen, but we've already done that step and it's sitting there waiting for us. So I do see a QR code and I'm going to go and scan it right now. Okay, register my NSS 12 Evo 3S, continue, connect the device, fantastic. Now, even if you don't get your device connected, your mobile, not all is lost. You can still download things from the cloud. So I'm not going to connect my phone just yet. I'm just going to close that. I'm just going to focus on synchronizing my data. So get started. Here we go. Okay, so we're back to the home screen here on our device. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a route. I'm going to go from North Vancouver. So hit routes. I'm going to create a route. I'm going to add a start point. I'm going to put it out here in English Bay here somewhere. I'm going to hit select, and then I'm going to make a destination down here. Let's say we're going to go to Point Roberts today, and we will let the smarts of the internet do the rest. Okay, you'll see it's gone ahead and it's done all the auto routing, and now it's asking me if I would like to sign up for the premium mode. If you would like this, you can go ahead and do so. It will allow you to do real-time navigation and charting directly from your mobile device. However, you don't have to do this. It's still perfectly functional on the free version, but you'll need to use your screen inside your boat to do the navigation and not your mobile device itself. So I'm going to dismiss that away. And I'm going to finish this leg. It's a nice idea to review it, and I can see that it's going around all the navigational markers, which is great. It's not going to put me up on any sandbanks. I like that. And it's going to end me right there at Point Roberts where I was off to. So let's finish that. And I'm going to name this Van to Point Roberts. Note that sometimes if you write it in your mobile device, it'll allow you to give it a very big long name. Sometimes when you pull it up on your screen on your boat, it'll give it a slightly shorter name because I think there's a limitation to the amount of characters. A little small detail, but it's worth noting. So I hit save, and that's now linked to my account. My account, do you enjoy using Simrad? Yes. I will review it later, I think. Okay, so now that this route is in here, it doesn't matter on my screen if I'm using a CMAP card or a Navionics card. The routes and waypoints layers actually float on top of any chart that you may have in. So if you're not using CMAP on your screen, no problem. You can still synchronize this right in there. Okay, so take note of what that looks like, because we're going to take this up again on our screen, and we're going to upload it, and we'll show you how that works. Okay, so I'll put my phone down, and making that route could have been something I'd done the night before, or it could have been something I could have done while sitting down and relaxing with ice cold water while my family was getting ready. Any of the above. It really is up to you when and how you make all these routes, but it definitely opens up a lot of doorways when you can do it somewhere other than the boat when you're just trying to push off the dock and get moving. So we now have the screen up here, and we are still connected to the internet, as you can see, which is a very important part of it. Now what we want to do is we want to synchronize this screen with our account. You can have it set up to do that automatically through the settings, or you can do a manual synchronize. So I'm going to show you a few different ways to get it done. As always, there is this shortcut with the power button that brings this up. And there is also the software or virtual power button down here for displays that do not have the physical buttons. Now, Synchronize My Data is how you synchronize them together. I'm going to back out of this, and we're going to get to that same button by going to the settings as well. You can also come over here to services and synchronize my data. Now that's the same button. If I was to press that one before, this is doing exactly the same thing, but it gives me a little bit more information. And this time around, it's actually telling me that I'm not signed in. So because I now have a Simrad account that I just created on my phone, I can go ahead and I can put my information in here. So just give me a moment while I put my information in. You should only need to do that the one time. Okay, let's hit synchronize now. As you can see, here's the auto synchronize. So it'll be doing stuff in the background. If you wanted to do that, then go ahead and check this right now. But I'm just going to leave it as a manual synchronize so I can have a little bit more control over when it does and doesn't synchronize. So I'm going to hit that button, and hopefully it will go ahead and give us a last synchronize of 0 minutes ago. Sync complete. So one thing that we will notice that we never had before is now it says I'm signed in under Synchronize My Data. And lo and behold, there is our new route right there. So synchronizing the screens right now has actually given me access to this route, which was never there before. Now it is a two-way synchronization process. If I want to make another route, there's another video on this, by the way, if you want to look for that one on the Freedom Marine YouTube channel, but we can go to new route, and we can make one that goes from here. Let's head to Gibson's today. There it is there. Dock to dock auto routing, entire route. Activate your card to get chart updates and advanced features. Use PlottSync or go to navionics.com to learn more. Okay, so we do happen to be using a Navionics chart card, and the auto routing with Navionics does require us to be logged in and have updates and accounts and stuff set up. So it's not going to auto route this for us. So we will just make this random route over the land. We'll call it route 001. That's fine. Of course, we would never use this to navigate as it cuts right through the middle of an island, but for demonstration purposes, let's go ahead and do another synchronize. So power button, synchronize my data, synchronize now. Watch this drop down to 0 minutes. And then that route that I just created on my screen is now going to be available on my mobile device. So that two-way synchronization works just great. I think that'll wrap us up for today. We have gone through how to make an account, input your data into your app, how to connect your app to your screen, and how to register your screen using your Simrad account, and how to synchronize your routes and waypoints between your two devices. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to Freedom Marine International Yacht Sales.